Hey, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, fine. How are you?
I'm good. Just got back from work. A little tired, but good. Um, so the topic that we're doing this time is that a person's clothing is not a cause of rape. And this was because I saw your other debate that you have scheduled, I think, with Cassie, where you had a similar topic, and it seemed like you were saying this, so I wanted to debate this one with you as well. Um, so the simple argument that I'm going to put forward is that of cause and effect, one leads to another. And when it comes to rape, that is not caused by clothing. Doesn't matter what the victim is wearing. If the victim is naked, that doesn't necessarily cause rape. If I walk by someone who's naked, that doesn't mean I'm going to go rape them. So the cause does not necessarily cause effect, which means that the clothing that someone is wearing is not the cause, and we can't blame them for what they are or are not wearing because that is not a cause. The only cause for rape is that a rapist made the absolutely disgusting choice to attack another human being. So clothing has nothing to do with it. It is solely the responsibility of the attacker.
Yeah, fine. But you know what? I just first of all I will point out to my country, India. Okay, in India, most of the people, they are addicted to wine. They are addicted to wine, and that particular type of wine, it's give them such an addiction from which they cannot overcome. So now the point over here is that when any girl or any lady in India wear short dresses or wear such type of dresses which should not be on, then people people take a bad and negative view of the particular lady. So when people take a negative view of the particular lady, ultimately this particular lady or that particular girl, her image gets devastated in front of the society. And when it happens, some ill-tempered people some ill-tempered people with such a bad mentality, they do not leave a chance to go and physically torture that particular girl. So what I mean to say here is that when a girl is dressed up in such a way that it seems like she has got no dresses, then people in my country I'm talking about take a very negative side of that particular thing. They look over a girl as someone who should not be staying in the society, and so it creates a negative image, a bad image. And when it happens, some people who really possess a bad mentality, they get a chance to go and torture a particular girl. Yes, it happens such a way. I will say an example of recent incident in our city, Kolkata, where a boy and a girl, when they were just close to each other, and were were in very closest moments. Then the people in the train pulled them out. They tortured them. They even beat them up. So it is the culture of my country that has prevented the ladies from wearing what they wear. And when I talk about the Western countries, it's fine. In Western countries, these things are all common. Wearing short dresses and all these things are all common. Even though in Western countries, wearing short dresses or wearing the dresses as they want is common, still, when Obama's daughters wore short dresses and went to the White House, they were very highly criticized. Many may term it like like it may be like for many may term it that it was all politics that was been doing. But still, even in America, even in a country such as America, those girls were criticized for wearing short dresses. So it is from one point of view. It is from one point of view that a girl who has got physically tortured, a girl who has got physically who has got raped, one of the causes is the dress she wears, because there are many instances when a girl doesn't wear properly, when a girl doesn't tries to cover up her whole body, and ultimately you will see them next morning she'll be falling somewhere else, and afterwards there will be a case that she has got raped. So the first point I will say here is that yes, it is a dress which may not matter 100%, but at least 60% of it matters in such cases.
Simple response here. The cause is not her dress. The cause is the person who judges what she's wearing. Even you yourself are saying what is or is not proper for her to be wearing. So you are the cause. Whoever is viewing that girl is the cause. It doesn't matter whether they like or dislike what she's wearing. They themselves are the cause of what they then do. If they think that, oh, wow, now I'm turned on because she's wearing a short dress, doesn't matter. That doesn't cause rape. That doesn't lead to rape unless that person then says, okay, I am going to go hurt this person. The cause of rape is not what she is or is not wearing. The cause is what that person decides to do. So you say that in your culture, short dresses mean that the people will take a negative view of the girl. Well, my answer would simply be that's society's fault. That's not the girl's fault. That's society's fault. That means society needs to change. Society needs to not judge like that. That's society itself. You're putting the blame in the wrong place by saying that makes it a cause. That doesn't mean the girl has any cause whatsoever. If she walks around naked, it doesn't mean anything. She can if she wants. Well, I mean, she probably should. I don't know. I don't know if I want to say she should, but it still isn't. It would not make a cause for rape. You use the example of wine. That wine is something that people can't avoid. But we still hold drunk people responsible for what they do. A drunk driver who kills a kid is still responsible for running over that kid. It was still that person's fault for drinking that amount and then driving. In the same way that just getting drunk in and of itself, it might be hard to resist, but we don't say that wine is the cause of them being drunk. It's their choice to get drunk. They are their own cause when they get drunk. I'll bring up a new example here, which would be that of murder. If being an asshole does not cause someone to murder me, it's their choice to murder me or not. If I am an absolute jerk to everyone I know, that doesn't mean that I am a cause for their action. Their action is their cause. If they choose to murder me, that is the cause. Not me being a jerk. Me being a jerk could incentivize them to want to kill me, but the cause of the murder is not me. The cause of the murder would be them. In the same way, a girl wearing a short dress or doing that sort of thing is not a cause of rape. It might be an incentive for someone to go, wow, now I'm turned on. Now I want to go rape them. But that isn't the cause. The cause is their choice.
Okay, fine. I just want to curve out from this particular topic and just enter into a new discussion. Let's tell me one thing that I will talk about strictly about girls. Okay. So you just say me that we have got separate dresses for girls and boys, right? Because we think that boys must be dressed up in such a way and the girls must be dressed up in such a way. Now at present time, what can we see? We can see there exists no difference between how a girl gets dressed up and how a boy gets dressed up. So the way they get dressed up, there exists no difference between a boy and a girl. This is the thing. Second thing here, when we know girl is supposed to wear what should see, when a girl is supposed to wear something which suits her, instead of wearing that, if she tries to wear someone else's dresses, do you think it will be fit for her? It cannot be. It cannot be comprehensible for her. Now, why do you wear clothes? So that we can cover up our body. If we don't require to cover up our body, then I don't think so. We require necessary or we have necessary to wear clothes. We can move around it naked. Yes, it's very easy to say that a girl can move around in the streets naked, but can you think that is it possible? Do you think it is possible? It cannot be. You just take a live example, right? Make a girl move naked in the streets, and along with that, make a girl who is completely dressed move around in the street. And next morning, I can give you them surety that something or the other will happen to the girl who was moving without clothes. who was moving without clothes, because it is it is something like that of the mentality of a human being. You cannot change the mentality of human being. Still, this mentality exists even in the girls also. If you see a boy without a shirt having a six packs, the girl gets attracted to that particular boy. It is a common human mentality, and it's a common human sense that makes the girl fascinate towards a particular boy, and it is that particular common human sense which makes the boy attracted towards the girl. So when they don't wear clothes, it's like if like there are some the mentality of a human being which creates the particular boy to do so. So we cannot change the mentality of the people. This is a human form which is still in us. We cannot change what is there inside us from the beginning. So we cannot do, it's worthless to talk about that. But yes, we can take a step that when girls go somewhere, when girls are in public places, at least they should know what they should wear in front of public. At least they should wear in such a way that their whole body gets covered. Back to you.
You keep talking about what girls should do. Where are you getting that idea? Where is this coming from? You have this idea of, oh, they have to do this. They have to. This is just the way it is. How do you know that? Where do you come to that conclusion? You're just saying this as if you're appealing to some deontological law above you, but you're not showing where that law comes from or what it would be. Now you say that we have separate clothes for girls and boys, and you say that there's a reason for this. Well, the reason is actually simply because it's cultural. That's just what culture does. It's not a necessary thing. If a girl wants to dress up as a boy, she can. It's just culture that has decided, all right, women are going to wear dresses and men are going to wear pants. That's a cultural decision that culture and society makes, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily set in stone. That can be changed, and it does change over time. That's why different cultures have completely different styles, because it changes. There's no objective, this is what you must wear. Let's see. Then you talked about you asked the question, why do we wear clothes? And you said the answer is because it's to cover up our body. No, that's not true. That might be one reason why we would wear clothes. But where is this, we must wear clothes to cover up our body? Where does that come from? There's no innate human thing that says you must wear clothes to cover up your body. You don't see that in animals. Animals aren't like, oh man, I'm a naked squirrel, I guess I need clothes. No, there's nothing about us that suggests that we have to wear clothes to cover up our body. That's just something that culture has sort of randomly decided that we'll do. And I'd say that a more apt answer to that question, why do we wear clothes, is for comfort, because they feel good. In colder parts of the world, they're warmth. In warmer parts of the world, people wear less clothes because it's hot. It's just for comfort. It's just for that. Why do we wear shoes? It's not to preserve our feet from people having sexual fetishes about our feet. It is because when you wear shoes, it's convenient and it helps your feet so they don't get hurt when you step on the rocks. We wear a shirt because that way the sun doesn't blare and get sunburn on our skin. It feels better for us. It's not because, oh, we must be covered. It's simply because culture has decided this is a good idea and because it has convenience for us. You asked the question, can a girl walk around in the streets naked? And you say that it's not possible. Well, actually, it's entirely possible. It literally could happen tomorrow. A girl could walk around in the streets naked. It's very possible to have it happen. Now, the problem would then be the way other people act toward her, which is the only reason why it wouldn't work for her. It probably wouldn't be safe. But that isn't because she has done something necessarily wrong. Society would prefer that she doesn't walk around naked. That's why we have some laws about like not being publicly indecent or whatever. But that still doesn't mean it's some innate wrongness to be naked. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem would be that other people would then act on their feelings for her. And the only reason that you think this is so problematic is because of culture. But culture isn't ever right. Culture is only subjectively right. It just comes to subjective answers of, oh, hey, we want to do this, or oh, hey, we want to do that. But there's nothing about culture that's like, this is the answer. Like with fashion. Like, for instance, we're wearing different clothes right now. And if you compare American fashion to Indian fashion, they're very different. That's a subjective decision. There's nothing right or wrong about fashion. That's just personal choices. You say that we can't change the reality of people, but yes, we can. That's literally what fashion is. And just to come back to this overall thing, what we really have to come down to is cause and effect. If someone is naked, that does not mean that someone else has no choice but to rape them. If I see a girl who's naked, I still have a choice. I don't have to rape her. But being naked doesn't mean I am now forced to rape her. That's ridiculous. So the cause is not her being naked. The cause would be my choice one way or the other. So a person's clothing is not the cause of rape.
Okay. So you have been talking about culture. Now tell me one thing. The culture in your nation and the culture in my nation are completely different. So they have no comparison at all. But whatever a culture may be, we require that particular culture for our whole life. Because who follows the culture? The society. And do you think society requires individuals like us? No. Society do not require us, but we require a society. The nation do not require us, but we require a nation to live on there. Similarly, society do not require persons like us, but we require a society so that we can get a company. And so we are bound to maintain the rules and regulations that have been created by the society. If today's society says that you have to go there, you will have to do this particular, yes, we are bound to do that. And we will surely have to do that. Because we require a society so that we can get a company. We require a society so that we can live as human beings in this particular world. The point here thrown over here that regarding animals, that animals do not wear clothes and all. Yes, animals do not wear. Because they are not that much intellectual. They do not have that much of intellectual capacity than we people have. Humans are said to be the most intellectual beings on the earth, and so even though if animals do not wear, they are illiterate. They have no sense that they are naked. But we human beings can understand each and everything. I'll just make you hear one story regarding how it came to clothes. It's just a medical narration over there that when God created human beings, one girl and one boy, He made them stay in a beautiful garden where there was a tree of apple, and God said that the apple tree was to be known as the tree of wisdom, and He prevented the boy and the girl, the Adam and Eve, to go there and have the apples. But one day or the other, somehow they went and took one apple. They have it. When they have it, they got a bunch of knowledge. They became realized what they were doing, what they were wearing. So when God came to the garden, He was finding where they are. Then He saw that they were hiding behind the bushes. He asked the reason for it. They said that, we are naked, so we feel shame to come in front of you. So it says, what I mean to say is there, when human beings have the knowledge, when human beings have that much of intellectual capacity, so they can decide whether it is better to be naked or whether it is better to wear clothes. Because we have got knowledge. We know what is the right and what is the wrong. Today, at present, a girl who is naked, who is naked, still she has the knowledge that yes, if I roam here around the naked, it may be dangerous for me. But still, if she tries to do it, it is her foolishness. It is her foolishness. Every time for any case, we cannot blame the society of the man, because equivalent to that of man, 70% and I say 80%. It is the fault. It is the fault also of the girl. If a girl doesn't know how to wear, if a girl doesn't know how to dress up, then I don't have anything to say to her. Because we know a society has some rules and regulations which we require to follow. We have got our own culture. We have got our own customs. We have got our own rituals. And society does not require us, but we require society. I've been saying it repeatedly. So it is of utmost importance that we abide by the rules and regulations, abide by the customs of the society. And if the society says that girls should wear this and boys should wear this, yes, we are bound and we'll have to wear it. And the point is there, today the girls can wear men's dresses, no problem. Can you just imagine a man wearing girls' dresses? A man getting dressed up in salwar kameez, can you just imagine? No, it is not possible. Why? And if we attempt to wear in such a way, the society will laugh at us. We'll be ashamed. At the time, where is the equality? At the time, where is the gender equality that we talk about? A girl can wear the dresses of a man, but a man cannot wear the dresses of a girl. So is this what I'm talking about, gender equality? Is this what we are discussing about all the things? It is not. So they know, the girls know that they are going to wear dresses so that they look attractive. They want that particular type of feeling that yes, I have to look attractive, so I have to wear in such a way so that my legs do not get covered. I have to wear in such a way so that my elbows, my hands do not get covered, so that I can focus my body somewhere else. So yes, that type of mentality is there in the girls, and so they get dressed up in such a way. And when the girl catch sight of someone in the street who is, who already possesses such a mentality, such an ill-tempered mentality, then obviously that person would go and do something to a girl. We can't stop that because it's a human mentality. It is something which is deep inside the human beings. And what is deep inside the human beings, we cannot take it out and throw it. It is already in us because we have got knowledge. And at the present world, the knowledge is the biggest enemy to the society of human beings. We have knowledge, that is why we are doing many wrong things. And we cannot throw what is there inside us. But we can prevent it from happening by following some rules and regulations. Back to you.
So you're saying that we have to follow society's rules and regulations. I would agree that it's better, usually, to follow society's rules and regulations, but that isn't necessarily because society said so, therefore it's right. That's not true at all. For instance, when we talked last night, you and I both agreed that your culture is entirely wrong when they say that women must marry their rapists. That's entirely wrong. That's just a backwards, idiotic mindset that has no logical basis in fact. There's just nothing to that makes sense. In the same way, those in Nazi Germany who harbored Jews, they were going against what their society was going towards. They were going against the rules and regulations, but they were doing the right thing. Sometimes culture and society are wrong. So it doesn't matter if society thinks, okay, this is what we're going to do, because society can be wrong. What we really need to do is not ask, this is what culture is doing, but ask, what should culture do? And the answer is, culture needs to stop thinking that a person's clothing is the cause of the way someone else will act toward them. Let's talk about prisons. In prison, especially in America, male rape is a very common thing. Was a cause of that, oh, they were wearing prison clothes, so I guess that was the cause for their rape. No, not at all. Their clothing had nothing to do with it at all. It was that a rapist wanted to hurt someone else, and they did so. It had nothing to do with the clothes. The clothes weren't the cause. In the same way, a person out on the streets is not the cause of what occurs. We got to talk cause and effect. The cause is one person making a choice to hurt another human. That cause has a direct effect. Cause, effect. But if we talk about clothes, clothes don't have that cause. If you yourself see someone who is naked, that's the most extreme example, naked, or someone who's wearing a short dress, or someone who's wearing pants, that does not have the effect of rape. It's not a cause. It simply isn't. It might make you more turned on. Maybe. Okay. But that is not a cause of rape. You said that Adam and Eve were aware they were naked. I'm not going to say that society should all be nudist. I'm not saying that. I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's some reasons that maybe it would be better that we cover up. But that doesn't mean we always have to. And it also doesn't mean that society's beauty standards are necessarily correct. For instance, all countries in the world have different ideas of what is modest versus immodest. In certain countries, elbows are considered, if you show your elbows, that's immodest. that doesn't mean society's right about that. That's just what people are used to. And you think it's so weird that women will wear short skirts just because it's abnormal to you. But in America, where we see it all the time, that's literally what girls wear. That doesn't mean that they have created a cause for rape. That's just a different societal standard. And that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. In the same way, if a girl from America goes to India, she has not caused a rape just because she was wearing her clothes. That would not be the cause at all. The last thing you said there was that a man can't wear a dress because society will laugh at him. But that isn't because there's some automatic rule that men cannot wear dresses. Human men can never wear dresses. There's no rule that says that. Where is that rule coming from? There's no God who said men will never wear dresses. There's no lawgiver that says that case. It's simply that society has randomly come to the conclusion that it's more practical for men to wear pants. That doesn't mean it has to be that way. It just means that's kind of the way they do it. And you can actually look at Scotland. Scotland, even today, and especially in the past, men wore kilts, which are essentially skirts. So clearly, there's no rule that says men wear this, women wear this. If you do something different, you are breaking your laws as a human being. No, not at all. It's just that culture has kind of come to certain conclusions, which may or may not be right. And to come back to the overall question, person's clothing is or is not a cause of rape. I say it is not a cause of rape because there is no cause or effect that comes about from a person's clothing. Doesn't matter what a person's wearing, they have not done anything to deserve rape.
Fine. You have been talking about the cultures, that cultures, the society cannot and should not decide what the clothing of a person should be. Fine. But in various countries, the cultures are different. Mm-hmm. In my country, the culture that I have, it may not be in your country. And in your country, the culture that you have, it may not be in the other countries. And it's very true that in some of the countries, the man used to wear skirts because it is a traditional dress. Fine. In my culture, women are prevented from wearing short dresses, which may be legal in your culture. So when someone from my community, when someone from my India, when someone from my country wears such type of dresses, people criticize them because we think our culture to be more civilized. We think that a woman who doesn't get dressed up properly, who doesn't cover her whole body is considered to be, of the bad mentality. We consider her to be someone who should be isolated from the society because our culture says so, which may not be there in your country. And our culture says so because since ages and ages, there has been no evidence, there has been no such type of clues or witness to prove that women in the past wore such type of dresses. No one wore it. It is the upcoming fashion of this time. It is the upcoming trend of this time that the girls are putting on such type of dresses which they should not. And the reason to this fashion is just to attain popularity, just to get the attraction of each and every people, just to become the center of attraction. And similarly, it is happening with the case of boys. You might have seen many boys wearing, their hairstyle become this, that, and wearing the shirts and all with some fashionable design. So, they want to take the attention of the people of the crowd. And so they have been dressed up in such a way. It is nothing like that of comfort which you have said. No, this clothes cannot provide them any comfort. When the clothes which cover their whole body do not provide them comfort, how can you say a clothing which does not cover their whole body will provide comfort to them? It is really worthless. It's just a fashion for them. It's just a fashionable trend for them. It's just a trending. And just to attain the popularity, just to become center of attraction, they have got dressed up in such a way. And in the society, all people are not that much gentle. All are not generous. There are many people in society who always have a very bad mentality. And so from that people, we cannot take the mentality out because it is there in us. Because we can decide Even you can decide. Even I can say that when a girl wears naked, she's not looking good. Even you know that when a girl's roam naked, do you think she's supposed to look good? No, she's not. Even I know that. Even everyone knows that. It's because we have got knowledge. Because we know what is right and what is wrong. And even a person standing in the street who is wordless, doesn't have any job, and is just drunk, even he knows that a girl who is got naked is wrong. She should not do that. And so he finds the opportunity, he finds a chance to go and do something to her. In my country, if someone would say today that there are many cases where there are many cases where women wearing saris. You know, saris is a type of traditional dress which covers the whole body of a woman. Even those women are getting raped. If someone says to me that way, I answer directly that it matters how they put on their clothes. You can wear sari very simply by just covering one part of your body, and the rest part you may leave uncovered. So it matters how you dress up. It matters how you dress up. A woman in sari can also get raped. A woman wearing pants and jeans can also get raped. But it matters how you dress up. If someone is wearing a trousers and just make it you like a shorts, it is something like what? When you want to wear trousers, wear it, or when you want to shorts, wear it. But why do you also follow the trousers and make it like a short type? It is a trend, it is a fashion that they are doing. So it depends on how they put on their dresses, how they wear their dresses. Because a shirt can be worn in thousands of times. A pant can be worn in thousands of different types. So it matters how they wear it. And the way they wear it, that justifies their character to some point of time. I personally view in that way that our clothing, our dresses, at least at one point of time, justifies what our character is. And it's very true that a girl, if roams uncovered in the street, there are many people who provide a bad mentality and a bad view to that particular girl only because she has no clothes or only because she has been wearing something which she should not wear. That's all. Back to you.
So you keep saying my culture does this, my culture thinks this, my culture does that, but that's not an argument. We aren't asking what your culture says or what your culture thinks. We have to ask, what should your culture think? What should your culture do? And if you just appeal to, oh, this is bad, it's bad, that's not an argument. You got to say why it's bad, which is why I go to the core of the issue, cause and effect. If the cause of an action has a necessary effect, then we could say that that cause leads to that effect. But it doesn't. Nothing you've ever shown here or said here says that a person wearing a certain types of clothing automatically is going to lead to that effect. It doesn't. You also say that if a girl gets naked, that's wrong. Why is it wrong? Why is that necessarily wrong? Not just your society thinks it's wrong. Not just, oh, I think God doesn't like it. Not that. But what's the actual reason? Why is it so necessarily bad? And the other thing I'll say here, girls often aren't dressing to attract men. Men have this arrogant belief that, oh, she dressed with a short skirt, so she wanted me to notice her. No, not. Actually, a lot of the time, girls think that other girls' clothes are cute. And so they'll wear clothes because their girlfriends think it's pretty. That has nothing to do with men. And so I have a simple question here that comes down to this whole cause and effect thing. If the prettiest girl you've ever seen is wearing a short dress, will you rape her?
Okay, that question, it may not be me. It may not be my mentality to view the girl in such a way. But I say that there are many people in a society which have got a very bad mentality. And this mentality we cannot throw them out.
So they have a bad mentality. So they're wrong, right?
Yes, they are wrong. I do agree. But their mentality, we cannot pull it out. As I said, this mentality is deep inside them, which no one can stop them from doing that. They are a curse of society, so they will remain in that way.
So what you're actually saying, you're not saying that a person's clothing is a cause of rape. You're just saying that because your society, and any society, because it happens in America too, but in any society, because there are fucked up people, if a girl wears a certain types of clothing, a guy might notice her more, and that might have a higher percentage chance of him hurting her. Is that all you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that because what I'm saying to that is, yeah, as they are all human beings, it is a nature of human being to view someone in both the ways. So there still exists people in our culture, in our society, who always tries to put a negative view to the girls. So their particular negative view, we cannot take it out and throw it. We cannot prevent those particular criminals, or we cannot prevent those particular bullshits from doing something. I mean, doing all these things because we don't know at what time what is going to happen. So girls
Oh, actually,
must be preservative. Girls must be conservative regarding what they wear because it is for their safety. I'm not saying that she should not wear this and that because it is for their safety. Because if we concern or if we care about about the safety of a girl, so the girl should understand it that for her safety, she should be dressed up in such a way so that she can escape from such type of rascals and bullshit.
So it's interesting that you say that because if an American girl goes to Saudi Arabia, it's probably smarter for her to put on a head covering. Or if an American girl goes to India, it's probably smarter for her to wear longer skirts. So in that, I agree with you. That's probably smarter. But that doesn't mean that if she chooses not to, if she chooses to dress like she normally dresses, that she has caused her own rape. Not at all. That's not a cause. So it's a very different thing that you're saying there. I think that there is a strategic way of dressing just to deal with the stupid people in culture, because especially in more primitive cultures where rape is more I don't know what the word, more happens more often, it might be smarter to cover up a little bit more. But that doesn't mean that clothing causes rape. It doesn't. It just means that there are fucked up people. So then the question becomes, can we deal with fucked up people? Well, the fact that you recognize that just because someone is naked doesn't mean you'd rape her. Just because the prettiest girl you've ever seen is wearing a short dress doesn't mean you'd rape her. Well, it means that with intelligence and with education and with rational discussion, we can come to logical conclusions on these things. So now the question becomes, how do we get the rest of society to recognize that? So wearing clothes is not a cause of rape. Bad society might be a cause of rape, and bad decisions by individuals in society can be a cause of rape. But clothes in and of themselves are not a cause. They might be an incentive, but they're not a cause.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you talk about best society, I do agree. Yes, the society that we have at present, that is still prevailing at present, are not that much education. Now you say one thing. It's a very, just try to understand what I mean to say logically. At present, we are the upcoming generations. We are the youths, which will form the society tomorrow. But till then, the society that we have, they are all aged. They follow still the rigid customs and rituals they have been following since ages. So we cannot deal with them. It will be very hard to deal with them. We can deal with ourselves when we go bigger. Because after a couple of years, the society will be ours. We'll be the head of society. So at that time, we can make a renovation. We can make something modification in society. But till then, we'll have to go on following the rigid customs. We'll have to go on following the rigid rituals that the society is doing. Because in case we try to oppose the society will isolate us. The society will never try to look at us. We'll become completely isolated. We'll become completely lonely. And at that point of time, we'll feel depressed. We cannot stay as human beings. So till then, till the age when the age doesn't come that we become the head of society, we'll have to still go on with the rigid constitution or with the rigid rules and regulations that the society has been following since ages and ages.
I mean, I mostly agree with you on that. In the same way, if I went to prison, I would certainly wear as many clothes as I could. I'd be so fucked in prison, but but there's a certain strategy, obviously, for person safety. And you're right that as there's different generations, many of whom are not as educated and are not as cultured on this idea of treating all human beings equally, it might require some level of strategy to deal with that fucked up part of society for the moment. And so it's an unfortunate fact that for a lot of girls, a means of safety is probably wearing longer clothes. But that doesn't mean she has to. It doesn't mean that there's any rule that says that there's nothing about being human that says, oh, you are a female, therefore you must wear a long skirt. Nothing about that at all. The only reason that she might choose to wear a long skirt is to deal with the problems that in society and the problems of dangerous individuals within society. But that doesn't mean there's any rule there. So the clothing is not the cause, one way or the other. Society and bad choices are the cause.
Okay, society and bad choices are the cause. Fine. Society is the cause, but we cannot deal with them. Society is the cause, but we cannot deal with them. And the second point is here. Just take an example. Okay, I just want to give you an example to you. I mean, not an example, it's just a situation, just consider a situation. When a girl is roaming without clothes, completely naked. Not naked, believe it, not naked. She's wearing dresses and with a lot of makeup, she's looking very attractive. She's wearing short dresses. I mean, you can understand what I mean to say. And along with a particular girl, take an example of another girl who is completely covered, who is completely dressed up in a very traditional way. Now you just make them stand in the street and ask the people. Don't ask any people. Let the ones who always possess a particular type of mentality, any people who are all, who always claim that girls should wear this and that, and who always try to point a negative side to the girls, just make them stand. Just make them stand by the side and just hear to the discussion what they say. They will obviously look to the girl who is wearing short dresses, not to the girl who is wearing long dresses. And they point out to the girl and they will have a negative side. So from everywhere she passes, everyone will show their eyes to a particular girl and would create a negative side view of that particular girl. Which should, create a negativeness around it. It would, at some point of time, it may depress the girl. And we cannot deal with such type of persons until and unless they do not leave this particular heaven. We cannot deal with those persons. Because in society, there are thousands, there are crores, there are lakhs of people who still follows that particular type of tradition, who still follows it. So we cannot deal with them. It is completely will be a worthless process if we try, because if we try to deal with them, we'll have to spend all our life in doing that itself. So we cannot do that at all.
Well, we can change society. I mean, if you need proof, the fact that currently in America, girls wear short skirts, and they didn't used to. So obviously we can change society. It is possible to do that. And the fact that you and I both can have these sorts of discussions, and we agree that the youth eventually will continue to get more cultured and more changed. So obviously we can change society. And so here's where I agree with you. And I will say that I do agree, at least in a culture like yours, or in a prison, it might be smarter to wear more clothes. That doesn't mean cause a
Okay, I just want to ask a question that you were talking about it. We can say society is some extent. Okay, fine. Now consider in my culture, in my society, wearing short dresses is not. It doesn't mean civilized. It is not allowed. In America, wearing short dresses is legal. Fine. Now, can you bring a change in mentality? Can you bring a change in mentality of people of India that girls should be wore short dresses? Can you bring a change in India? You cannot. Similarly, can you bring the change in America that girls should not wear short dresses, they must wear long dresses? It is impossible. Cultures are different, their feelings are different, they're all different. So what the culture speaks in America, we cannot change it. Similarly, the culture what speaks in India, we cannot change it. Because society is there, we cannot change the society to any extent. The point is only here that we will have to comprehend each and everything of society. We'll have to abide by, because we want to live as humans. We are humans. We require company. We require someone with whom we can live. Because at a time when we will be lying in our eternal rest, now, so as to bury us, we require someone. Now, so at least we require society for us.
I mean, we could bring in a time of girls wearing long dresses in the United States. If Kim Kardashian and Jennifer Lawrence and Scarlett Johansson start wearing long dresses, a lot of girls are going to start wearing long dresses. And if societies change like that, that's just how it goes. So yes, it's very changeable, and even that, it doesn't matter what girls are wearing because none of that has anything to do with it. When we come down to the simple question of cause and effect, the cause is never what someone is wearing. The cause is what a bad individual chooses to do, and they might be incentivized by seeing someone wearing a short dress, but that doesn't mean that was the cause.
Okay. So I just want to conclude saying that, that whatsoever is it, persons must be educated to stop doing it.